For me, cooking is something that's completely transparent and without pretense, that's honest and generous, and that has something true and original to it. Noma is a word that in Danish means Nordic food. Nordic N-O, and food in Danish is mad, so N-O-M-A, Noma. We had a long-term dream, which I really honestly only thought could be a dream, that this term, a Nordic cuisine, could be something that was known in gastronomical levels, and perhaps the extreme dream that one day it could be used as a gastronomical term. I see a restaurant having some type of pact with nature and people growing in nature, and that is simply the essence of it, and that shapes everything. Through the 7 years we've been open, it's been one big learning curve of understanding our region and understanding the soil, the seasonality, what does the weather give us, and so on. And today nature is our biggest inspiration right now. I think it teaches you some type of respect. When you harvest things yourself, you will force yourself to use all of it and be true to its original flavor. It's a whole new palette of flavors you can play with. It's like a present. I think we've come into some type of in-depth knowledge of our region, the soil, what grows well, that really makes us understand how we should keep the connection from the product's origin unbroken to when it hits the plate. Once we've picked it here now, it's just one steady decline of flavor. So if this is your reference point, you've tasted it here in nature, you just picked it, this will always be what you want to put on the plate, of course. And that's a very important lesson. And that, of course, brings much more life into your food because you're tasting it now and it's full of life. I want, first of all, the guest to have a sense of time and place. The guest should experience something that can only happen in this part of the world, in this particular city, right here in Restaurant Noma. If you want that, as a restaurant, you're going to have to, and you will naturally fall into working with all these indigenous products. Søren, I found some beach cabbage. This is very good. It's cabbage that grows in sand, so full of flavor, so intense. You see, it's as if it has wax on it. Once you polish it a bit, you get this green flavor. It's so intense. Maybe we'll put that with the oyster, because oyster, this cabbage bitterness, it's fantastic. In many cases, what people come to a restaurant is to experience new things, new ways of putting ingredients together or preparing ingredients. So that's a big thing, and it's a thing that we work a lot on, and it's very difficult to somehow format innovation. But then again, still we have various techniques on how to come forward with new ways of thinking. A very good example is just simply take any given ingredient of high quality and looking around, seeing what grows naturally with it. This is scurvy grass. Rich in C vitamin, has a horseradish tone with a slight bitter finish. And with that you perhaps look at the water and you'll say, well, right out here there's mussels and oysters and razor clams, so perhaps this can be a dish. But usually when we start a dish of any kind, it starts with a given ingredient of high quality. We want to show it, how it grows, their origins, and what we feel is their best quality. That's what we're playing with. Everything else we put around it onto the plate is something that brings that forward somehow, or somehow showcases that. Even though I consider myself a Dane, my father's from Macedonia. And until '92, when the war broke out, I spent quite a lot of time in Macedonia every year. It was a completely different lifestyle from the Western world. Back then it was extremely rural. You ate what you had yourself, which meaning what you could grow. You worked the land, you harvested, you did everything. It's quite a hard life to work like that. But as a child, it's fantastic to grow up in that sense, because you're out there on the fields, you're eating things when they're just harvested, and it makes me perhaps see possibilities in some products where 100% native just see it as something old-fashioned, or that can only be seen in one specific context. It's a fantastic spot right here because you have elderflower, you can smell the elderflower. You can actually pick wood sorrel here. They look a touch like clover. This is sour, lemony, but more complex, I would say, with a herbal tone to it. This is delicious, one of my favorite plants. We have 2 Michelin Stars and we've been voted #1 on this ranking list. And I've been asked this before, what do you say to that and how do you feel? And honestly, I don't know how to feel because you're just so busy and you're just working at, I don't know, maybe I'll have time to enjoy it in 10 years and look back at it and say, wow, something really, truly amazing went on there. I would say that for the city and the whole country in itself, I think it's very important that we have been able to break through the way we are, because it will open a lot of doors for other future chefs, and hopefully they won't have the hard time that we did. The next thing is the same. We're not changing. I feel we have years still to explore. We just need to go deeper into what we do, understand it more, and make the link clearer from the ingredient to when it hits the plate. This is what makes me happy, being with my team, visiting the people that supplies us, and keep going into depth with what we do, deeper and deeper and deeper.